Hi guys! So I wanted to try something a little different. We're gonna do, this one's not gonna be really like a day-to-day vlog like I've been doing. I wanted to try other things with the channel. Maybe some haul videos, maybe, you know, I still want to do when we go out and we're doing adventures. I'll obviously record that, but we don't go out as much as we used to, so I know my day-to-day life is getting kind of boring. So I wanted to try a few things. So for this one, I'm going to do a sit down and I'm going to tell you about me and my life. And yeah, I thought that would be fun. You guys can get to know me a little better. I know you know bits and pieces of me, but I thought it would be cool to just tell you about me. So yeah, I'm sitting in our spare bedroom because the lighting here is really nice. I can put the camera by the window and get some good natural lighting. I can sit on the bed and be comfortable. So as you know, name's Brittany. I am 28 years old and we live in Germany. This is actually my second time in my life living in Germany. So I'm going to talk about my family. My dad is awesome. He was in the Air Force for 30 years, so a majority of my life was spent moving around and being an Air Force brat. For those of you who aren't familiar with military, that's what they call the kids. They call them brats. So you have Army brats, Navy brats. I was an Air Force brat. I was born in Japan, and I spent the first 5 years of my life there in Japan. I don't remember much because, I mean, honestly, who really remembers that young of a life? I mean, I know there's some people who have awesome memories, but I don't remember much. I just don't. So I was there for 5 years, and then after Japan, we moved to Germany. And we were here for 3 years. My dad was stationed at Spangdahlem Air Force Base, which is about an hour and a half, 2 hours from us. It's not that far. We went when my mom was here. We lived there for about 3 years. We lived on base and we lived off base. Little things I remember about Germany: we went to Phantasialand, which I really want to take my kids to. We went to Legoland. We traveled. I actually have family that lives here, so we would visit my Oma and my Opa and my Uncle Yosef, and I still have family that lives here. I just haven't gotten together with them because we're friends on Facebook and we talk. We're just not close, so it's kind of awkward for me to go meet them alone, but it will happen. I know it'll happen. It'll be awesome, and I'm sure we will love having family here. So we would visit them and we would hang out, and I had an awesome childhood. I really did. So we lived in Germany for 3 years, so from when I was 5 to when I was about 8, and then we moved to England, and we were at a base there called Lakenheath. And we were there again for 3 years. Back in the day, most of the tours or, you know, being stationed somewhere was about 3 to 5 years. So we were there for 3 years. I absolutely loved it there. I would definitely move back if given the chance. We got to visit all the castles. We went to London multiple times. One of the things I remember, we were on a field trip and we got to dress up in like these olden day clothes, and we went to this, it wasn't really a castle, it was just this huge house, and we made butter and we did the cloves and the orange, and we made bread from scratch. Like, we did all these cool things, and then we made a stew. I remember that. And at the end of the day, end of the field trip, we all went outside and we got to eat all the things that we had gone from station to station creating, and it was so cool. That was such a fun field trip. And then after England, we moved to South Carolina, and we were only there for a year. And then after that, it was Tucson, Arizona, and that is where my dad retired in 2000, I want to say 7. He retired in 2007. I graduated high school, And, you know, I got a job, I lived in an apartment, moved back out of the apartment and in with my parents. And that is where I met my husband. So, and then you know, so I'll talk about more about my adult things a little bit later in the video. So yeah, I got to live in all these cool places as a child, and it was just awesome. And I'm so glad my kids get to experience that also, because not a lot of people get to say that they've lived all over the world. So yeah, and I have, so sorry, I'm really bad at this, so I'm gonna be jumping back and forth, and I hope you guys can keep up. So I'm actually the middle child. I've got two sisters. I have an older sister and a younger sister. My older sister's name is Ashley, and my little sister's name is Cheryl. So it goes A, B, C. And my mom always jokes that she wanted more, but my little sister Cheryl was such a handful that she had to stop at C. And it's just so funny because she really is a handful, but who's not, right? We have three half siblings. We have a half sister from my mom's side, and we have a half sister and a half brother from my dad's side. You know, I love my sisters. We have a great relationship. Well, I've got a great relationship with both of them, but they kind of butt heads because they're so far apart in age. So we go through spurts where like they're not talking and then we're all talking, and you know, girl drama, right? So my sisters and my mom and I, we all have a group chat. We talk daily. We are constantly talking and video chatting, and that's how we keep up with each other's lives, because my older sister, her husband was in the army, so she was gone for a while, and then he got out, and then she decided to join. So we've never all just lived in one place since we all lived under the same roof with my parents. So she has been gone. So we visit each other and stuff, but we haven't actually lived together in a really long time. And then I married Benji, and we moved to Washington, which is where we were stationed before we came here. And my little sister, she met a man, she got married, and they moved to North Dakota. And that's where she still lives. She has 4 kids, and my older sister has 3 kids, and that's just how we keep up with each other. I know like some people who aren't military associated, most of their family lives in one spot, and it's so much easier to see aunts and uncles and nieces and nephews. So we use social media to keep up with each other's lives and the kids, and we just want to make sure we're in each other's lives, because we don't want our kids to grow up and not know their aunts and uncles. So I love my sisters. I always consider myself the glue that holds them together, because I do. You know, my older sister and I are best friends. My little sister and I are really close. I keep them from butting heads too often. But they're great. I love it. And I'll make sure to insert pictures of you know, us growing up, and there's some funny ones we have, because we really are. We're just a big group of weirdos. Growing up, it was always my older sister was the pretty one, I was the smart one, and my little sister was the rebel. And it's definitely died down. We still have our little roles that we play in the family. And I love it. I do. I miss my sisters constantly. They better come visit at some point. But we'll see, because they have a lot of kids, and so that's a lot of money. And, you know, traveling over here is quite expensive. So yeah, that's about my sisters. My mom and dad, they've been married for 31 years, 31 years a couple weeks ago. And I just think it's so amazing. I love my parents, I really do. You guys met my mom in previous vlogs. We're super close. Even when we lived stateside, we would visit each other at least once a year, usually 2 times a year. My dad's not big on traveling, so I would only ever see him if I went to them. He does plan on coming at some point, but like I said, he's not really big on traveling. He was in the Air Force for 30 years, so he's got a lot of disabilities, like his shoulder's been replaced and his hips. And so, you know, flying over here 7-8 hours, I think that's how long the flights were. I don't even remember. You know, sitting on an airplane, these long flights, doing the exploring thing, it's just really hard on him. His hips and his, you know, his body just hurts a lot. So I don't blame him. It's fine. Love you, Dad. So yeah, that's my side of the family. I love them dearly. They're amazing people. So when we were in Tucson, I met Benji in 2010. We had a very quick relationship. This might be crazy to some people, but I know some people have had shorter. So we met in January. We started dating. We were literally attached at the hip from the beginning. This was back in my party girl days. I was about 19, 20 years old when we met. No, I was 19 when we met. Yeah. I had gone to this house party that a friend had told me about. And because like I said, I was a party girl back in the day. But that really only happened after high school. Just so everyone knows, I was not much of a partier in high school. When I graduated and, you know, I lived in my own place and I made different friends going to college, and, you know, that's when I really hit my party stage. So I went to this house party. We met, we hung out, we were attached. We had a great time. That was on a Friday. I went back over Saturday and we hung out. And then we hung out again on Monday and Wednesday. And like after that, it was just, we were always together whenever we had time. So that was in January. We started dating. And then in August, he proposed. So, you know, I said yes. I was in love. We love each other very much. And then after that, we got married in September. So we had a very short engagement. It was like 3 weeks. We just couldn't wait. We wanted to get married. We always said we were going to have a big wedding afterwards, and that stuff hasn't happened. I'm trying to talk him into maybe like a vow renewal, maybe 10 or so years. Since now we're over here, it's an amazing place to, you know, do a vow renewal. We can see if our friends and family can come. It would just be super awesome to do something and wear a pretty dress and have a party and just celebrate us. So we got married 3 weeks after we got engaged, and now it's been 8 years. We've got our 2 kids, Anders and Raylan. You guys see them often. They're a handful, but I love them bunches. They're actually both home today because Anders is sick still. So first it was Raylan that was sick, and then Durs kind of started sounding like he was getting sick, and he just keeps getting worse, so he's home for the day from school. We don't like to spread germs. So we have Anders, we have Raylan, we've owned a home together, we had dogs, like, we have such an amazing life. So let's jump back to the beginning. So we got married September of 2010. And then he got orders to be stationed in Washington. So we packed up the few things we had and we headed off to Washington. And we lived in Washington for 7 years and I loved it there. Oh my gosh, it was amazing. It's pretty much like Germany. There was rain, lots of forests. The weather is almost the same, less snow in Washington. So it was really an easy adjustment for us when we got stationed here because the weather is still pretty much the same. So we lived in Washington for 7 years. We owned a home. So we bought when we first got there and we lived in it for 6 years. And then when we found out we were getting orders to Germany, we decided we needed to put the house on the market as soon as we could so we knew it would sell before. But I loved that house. It was a great little starter home. That's where both of our kids were born. Well, not literally in the house. They were born at a hospital. As much as I wanted a home birth, Benji wouldn't let me, and that's okay. So, you know, our kids grew up there. Ray was about 2 when we moved out. 3? How old is she? She's 4. So she was 2 when we moved out. I don't know. I'd have to go back and do the math. So it was a great home. We had 3 dogs. And we loved our house. And so then after that, we moved on base and we lived there until we moved here. And I mentioned we had dogs. The reason we don't have them here is because we had 3 big dogs. We had a lab mix, and a lab newfie mix. So they were huge dogs. We decided to rehome them, and please don't come at me in the comments about getting rid of them, their family. That was literally one of the hardest things I've ever had to do. I still beat myself up about getting rid of them. But we figured it was best for them, it was best for us, because we had planned on traveling so much, and I'm sure we'll get back into traveling more. But we planned on traveling. We knew it wasn't fair if they were home, and trying to find someone to run with us with 3 huge dogs. We were scared about that. And we just decided it was easier if we found them new homes. And they have great homes. We made sure of it. Like we did with the house, we made sure to start the adoption process early, so that way we knew they were in good homes, and if they needed anything, we were still there. So they're in great homes. I'm very thankful for that, but I do miss them terribly. I love my dogs. I would give anything to have them here with us. So yeah, I'm kind of all over the place, and I apologize for that. This is the Halloween cup you guys saw me making a couple videos ago. I finally put the vinyl on it, so now I get to use it. So let's see, what else? So as some of you know, if you have watched my previous vlogs, you know I do have anxiety and depression. That all started after Ray was born. We had a couple issues, and then I had postpartum depression, and that has just progressed, and I have been struggling with that now for 4 years. And it's not a huge deal. I'll actually do a different video talking about my depression and anxiety, because that we can dig deep into that. And I don't want this one to be crazy long. So yeah, that is my life story. I am an Air Force brat, and I love it. I love traveling. I love exploring. I love being overseas. I want to spend as long as we can overseas. That is our hope. I hope that after our 4 years are done here, that we get to bounce somewhere else overseas. Because I want my kids to experience different cultures, different lives, different areas like I got to, and be able to appreciate everything in this world and not just their little corner of America. I want my kids to know everything. So yeah, if you guys have any other questions or anything about what it was like growing up, make sure to drop them down below, and I can do a follow-up video for that. I hope this isn't I know it's kind of weird, because normally I vlog my daily life, but on days like today where we're not doing anything, I figured this would be a good way to kind of do vlogs and other things. I'm going to put in a little photo montage of like my favorite childhood pictures and what a dork I was, and I hope you guys enjoy. I thank you so much for watching. I hope you have an amazing day. I hope you guys have an amazing day. I hope you enjoyed today's video. Again, if you have any other questions about my life, make sure to drop them down below. Make sure to like and subscribe down below. Also, turn on the little bell if you want to be notified whenever I do post. And follow my social medias, because I post a lot of silly pictures and little boomerang videos of the kids all the time. And we would love for you guys to see that. But I hope you have a great day, and thank you guys so much for watching. Bye!